I'm Natalie, I'm one half of Bean & Goose Chocolate.
And I'm Karen, I'm the other half of Bean & Goose Chocolate.
And today we're going to show you the behind the scenes of our workshop. We learnt how to make chocolate, hand-tempered chocolate in Kerry actually, in Kenmare, with a French chocolatier called Benoit Laure. She taught us how to do the process and we loved it, didn't we?
Yeah, we fell in love with the process, but we started very small. It was just myself and Natalie in my kitchen at Last Tree Farm, and that's where the brand started. We had this idea that we were ready for a new chocolate bar brand that was sustainable, ethical, and really cared about the thoughtfulness and the gifting element of it, right through from the sourcing through to the packaging. Right at the beginning, we started off hand tempering, and we started off on marble slabs. So we didn't have any of this machinery that you see behind us at the moment. We had a marble slab each. This is one of them. It's in the workshop, but the other one is at home. So myself and Natalie stood side by side for over 3 years, hand tempering on marble slabs, and that's where we really learned the skill of making chocolate, what good chocolate should look like when you know chocolate is tempered correctly, and we learned to use the best chocolate in the world. And it's really helped us now, because even though we've got machinery today, we wouldn't have the depth of understanding or love what we do if we didn't start right at the beginning, hand tempering every batch of chocolate.
So when we were hand tempering, we would make somewhere between 50 to 100 bars of chocolate in a batch, actually 50, closer to 50, and that would be a good day. That's when all the temperature and the humidity and everything aligns for you and everything's going really well. You'd make 50 bars of chocolate at a time. So we worked and we worked and worked, and 3 years later we were able to afford to buy our first tempering machine. So a tempering machine is exactly what it says. It's a machine that does the process that we were doing by hand. The machine does all that for us.
2019 we got our second small machine, which is behind you there. So we had two machines. Means we could double our production and we could separate from milk and dark chocolate, and so it just made it more consistent and quicker with what we were doing. And at the time we were building our team as well, so it was more than myself and Natalie. We had another chocolatier working us, actually Bernadette, who's still with us today, joined us in packing and wrapping, so we're starting to build out the team, but still in a home kitchen. 2020 that we moved to our first unit.
And we moved because, as you can see here, a lot of what we carry, a lot of the stock's actually packaging. And that was the same in Karen's house. So I got a call one time, a few days before Christmas, and it was Christmas, it would be our real busy time of the year, and I got a call from Karen saying, Natalie, I can't get up the stairs to go to bed. Like, there's boxes and packaging everywhere. So we completely taken over the house.
And when we moved here, as you can see, it's a beautiful, airy space, got about 5,000 square foot, and everything is done in one open space, from making to packing and wrapping and out to dispatch. So all the team are connected with each other all day long. We are lucky in one way in Ireland because we've got a great environment. It's cool most of the year, so that's great for making chocolate. We need low temperatures and low humidity. And we rarely have problems apart from like 4 or 5 weeks in the summer we can't make. But if you go to other countries, they're having to invest so much money and energy resource into actually keeping their factories cool to make chocolate. Can you imagine the impact that has on the environment and the expense as well? So we're actually quite lucky that we can actually make most of the year without having to resort to like massive cooling tunnels, refrigeration or anything like that. We have one chill room, so when the chocolate is made, they put more onto the racks and they're wheeled into the chill room. About 20-30 minutes, the bars are ready then to be left to dry. The team will turn them out in about 2 or 3 hours, and then they go through a quality check to make sure they're up to our standards.
We've got our own unique bar mould, and this design is based on the topography of Last Tree Farm, which is Karen's house, which is where we started the brand. So it's like our own Bean & Goose thumbprints. It's completely unique to us. The most recent one we've done is this actually. We call this, this is based on the swirl and the depth of the waves of the sea, and that's our little seascape. The flavours for this product actually come from the sea, so we use umami seaweed, smoked salt, and then actually the QR code on pack that brings the customer to the sound of the sea too. So we work with chocolate from Ecuador across most of our range. We get the chocolate through a company called Original Beans, and the reason we work with Original Beans is because we have a really short supply chain with them. We can trace that chocolate all the way back to the growers in Ecuador. There are 17 families that grow the cocoa beans for Bean & Goose. Most of Ecuador is actually full of a hybrid cocoa bean. We use the heritage cocoa bean, which means that the wildlife and the fauna and everything else is undisturbed. That is the bean that should be there in that forest, and it means it's protected. It's a really protected area. Through original beans, we pay above fair trade prices, and we set them, unlike fair trade prices are commodity linked. So our prices are not, they're set for 3 years, and we do that so that the farmers have really secure income and they can plan their futures for the next 3 years. You know, it's not going to fluctuate or go anywhere on them. They know the price and it's set for that length of time. We take it to here in Wexford, we temper it, and then we add Irish flavours and ingredients that celebrate Ireland, our ingredients and our producers too. So we work with everything from smoked Irish sea salt. That's smoked by Oriel up in County Louth, and they smoke it over Teeling whiskey barrels. We call this umami because it is an umami flavour. It's Connemara seaweed with Irish sea salt, and we run that through our dark chocolate bar. This is another great producer, Highbank Orchard. They're based in Kilkenny, and they make amazing products. So everything from apple vinegars to treacles, to syrups, to brandies, and we use them a lot. And they're great actually because they create a lot of our vegan recipes. So their apple treacle we would use to make sure that we're not using a honey or anything else that wouldn't be suitable for a vegan customer. They're brilliant, we work with them all the time. Back in 2013 and 14, while Karen and I were in her kitchen practicing making chocolate, because it did take us about a year to get really good at making chocolate, so we really had to practice it. During that time, we were thinking, what were we going to call our brand? So we had 3 big sheets of paper, and we had them up on the wall in the kitchen, and they were full of names of flora, fauna, wildlife, birds, anything that was synonymous with Wexford. One of them was a bird called the bean goose. He comes to the Wexford area, and he winters in the Wexford area. And at the time of 13, 14, when we were starting the brand, his numbers were growing, and nobody knew why, but he was really thriving. So we actually just thought that was a really good omen for our brand, for our business. So that's where the name comes from, Bean and Goose. Yeah. So he's named after a little bird.
Yeah, it actually exists.
Yep.
As you can see, once you open it, then you see the beautiful landscape pattern of our thumbprint of Bean and Goose. And hopefully now when I snap this, it should have a good snap if it's well made.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, cheers.
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 Yeah, well done. Beautiful product.
Thank you.